This is the Best of the Week on Relevant Radio.
I looked this up to make sure that I had the details right. So the first time entry into the country is illegal. If you come in illegal, it's a misdemeanor. And I wanted to know, like, what kind of, is this like, what does the law say? So Statute 8 USC, subsection 1325A, entering the U.S. without inspection at a port of entry or by fraud, the penalty is up to 6 months in prison and or fines. It's a Class B misdemeanor. What if you come in after you're deported? That becomes a felony in the same section of the U.S. Code. A person who has been deported or removed from the U.S. and then reenters without permission, the penalty is up to 2 years in prison. If previously convicted of non-aggravated felonies, up to 10 years in prison. If previously convicted of an aggravated felony such as drug trafficking or violent crime, 20 years in prison. Reentry following removal based on national security or terrorism has even more severe penalties. So, not all of the people who are here illegally have come back after deportation. Maybe most of them have not done that. So we're not necessarily talking about a felony, but in the instance of the first entrance illegally, according to the law, it is a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by fines and or 6 months in prison. And I like the way President Obama put it, quite frankly. He said, if you disagree with me, President Obama, following the law, doing what the law says, then write a bill that would change the law. That seems reasonable to me too. So, there's no need to prolong this agony endlessly if there's a way to improve the situation, have more compassion from people who are vulnerable. I'm all in favor of that. That's what I want to see. Fraudulent documentation. This too is covered in the code. Fraudulent documentation, identity theft, it's a felony. If you misuse a visa or any kind of entry documents, you can face up to 25 years in prison. Fraud, related activity in connection with identification documents like fake visas, fake driver's license, these are felonies. Harboring or aiding illegal entry, it's a felony. Knowingly, here's the description from section, so it's Statute 8, subsection 1324, knowingly harboring, transporting, or aiding someone unlawfully present in the United States, it's a felony. Now, I'm not saying necessarily it should be a felony. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the laws on the books can be modified, especially if we're talking about federal laws like this, by Congress. But to enforce the laws that are on the books, and not do so in a heavy-handed way, of course, that's important. Otherwise, what are you going to do if someone's breaking into your house? What are you going to do if somebody's stealing from your store or your car or something like that? You're going to call the police and expect them to do what? To enforce the law. If you live in a country without laws, you're toast. And we're beginning to see more and more of that, where just this people don't like the law, therefore they flout the law. That's not the way to go about it. Jesus said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And if it's a bad law, then vote people in who are going to fix the law and make good laws instead of bad laws. I don't think these are bad laws, personally. Let's go to Steve in Norwalk, California. Hello, Steve.
Mr. Madrid, how are you, senor?
I am well, sir. Thank you. Buenos dias.
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to finally speak to you. But I just can't hold it in. I'm really close to the epicenter. In fact, Saturday, my family and I, we were at the Cathedral of Los Angeles, and you come out and you see just a disaster, chaos, graffiti with, curse words, and especially when you have an 8-year-old and she's reading all that, and she's like, why is that on the wall? Because they're all over the 101 freeway. I mean, they're walking in and walking and marching. And so the thing is that you're right on all aspects. This is just basically just hatred. The media is doing a lot of it. The mayor is not doing anything. They're just lighting up more hatred.
Doesn't she say, there's nothing really happening?
And the bricks are there. The bricks are there. Just like the George Floyd incident, I work under a LAPD lieutenant. She's retired. Mm-hmm. I've been doing security for 23 years for celebrities and politicians. In fact, I'm in Santa Monica right now taking care of a producer's home. And just like the 2020 and 2021, I mean, I actually did see pallets of bricks alongside Santa Monica Boulevard and Wilshire Boulevard, all these areas in Santa Monica.
We're seeing a lot of videos of that on social media.
Yeah.
Steve, where do you think these pallets of bricks are coming from?
No, it's an organization. I mean, really, it is true how I mean, at that other time, I even know some people that they saw flyers being taped or stapled in light posts, like hiring.
Get your bricks, get your free bricks.
$20 an hour to join join a group. We pay cash and all, and then they go, and it's an organization, and these are thugs. These are criminals. I mean, you may have a few that believe in that it's not right what's going on, and that about immigration side, but the rest are just thugs. In Compton, I know you're from the area, so Compton, Paramount areas in Downey. I was
born in Linwood, not that far from where this is going on.
So as we speak yesterday, they were breaking into mini marts, shopping centers. I mean, these people, what has that got to do with anything?
They're scared. Some people are saying they're doing this because they're scared. That doesn't seem like behavior of scared people to me. If I were scared, I'd be under my bed in my home trying to stay away from all this stuff. But they don't seem scared to me.
Unfortunately, it's an embarrassment, especially for our race. I mean, my parents were born in Mexico, but they became U.S. citizens like right away. They came the legal way. I was born here. And it's not that I don't have family that are undocumented or they struggled and there's no compassion, but the majority that you're seeing are just people that are taking advantage of the situation. They're opportunists. That's what you're seeing. They're lighting up these cars. I mean, they're marching down the freeway. I mean,
Steve, so when ICE is out under the authority of the law to arrest people who are criminal, illegal, or they're here illegally and they're doing criminal activities, would you say that you are okay with them doing that?
Yeah. Well, what's sad about the situation, Patrick, is you have so many illegals that have made a life here, have their children here, have a job, but they're illegal, and the months have gone by, the years have gone by. Before you know it, you got people here for 10, 20, 30 years, and they never, either they tried or nothing has happened, and now you committed a crime. You came in illegally. So, I mean, just because nothing has happened for the last so many years, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get arrested or brought in for questioning, and everybody's saying, well, they should go for the known terrorists or the drug dealers or the criminals, like the ones that cause havoc in
those seem
Colorado.
like the priority to me. I say that.
I say that too. And yes, there is footage of ICE going into schools and graduate. Yes, it is. That's why it's like it is heartbreaking, because you're like wondering, okay, how come they're not hitting up all the other ones first? Because there's a lot of gangbangers, MS-13 here in LA, 18th Street, MS-13, the Salvadorian gang. There's many all over that they can go into those neighborhoods and start clearing out all that first, instead of getting the guy that's at Home Depot parking lot trying to get a job for at least to feed his family, But then again, it's where do you separate that? It's like, what's the situation there? What I'm seeing here in LA and in these different parts are that there's hardly any undocumented people walking the streets because of fear. So who are they here? Their kids maybe, or their relatives who are born here, they're citizens, But a lot of the ones that don't have the chance to destroy property or assault people, this is their chance to do it.
You can join me by listening to The Patrick Madrid Show on the Relevant Radio app, live each weekday at 8 to 11 a.m. And thanks for listening.